Conditional expressions. A conditional expression chooses between two results by testing a Boolean condition. Terraform evaluates the condition first, then returns either the true result or the false result. The syntax is if condition, return true, else false. This matters because infrastructure often changes by environment, feature flag, or input presence, but the configuration still needs to stay in one readable path. The outcome is controlled variation without copying whole resources or whole files. The left side of the expression must produce true or false. The Boolean usually comes from a comparison such as equals, not equals, greater than, or less than. The condition is the mechanism. The selected value is the outcome. If the condition is unclear, the whole expression becomes hard to audit because readers must mentally trace two possible states at once. The practical outcome is that good conditional expressions start with a simple question, not a long chain of logic. Both branches must be the same type. Terraform requires this so it can determine the final type of the expression before evaluating the condition. The mechanism is type resolution at plan time. The outcome is that Terraform can build the dependency graph without needing to know which branch will execute. If one branch returns a string and the other returns a list, Terraform cannot resolve the expression type and will fail validation. This is not a runtime issue. This is a plan time constraint that enforces predictable argument shapes. Conditional expressions are most useful when the resource argument must change while the resource itself should still exist. That keeps graph structure stable. Only the argument value changes. A common pattern is selecting DNS settings, tags, CIDR descriptions, or parameter values based on environment. The mechanism is branch selection inside an argument. The outcome is less duplication and fewer chances to drift two nearly identical resources apart. The sharpest risk appears when engineers use a conditional to control count, creation intent, or environment-sensitive behavior without validating the input. A mistyped environment, like PRD, can silently route configuration into the false branch. That can disable protections while still producing a successful plan. On a submarine, the dangerous state was not always a hard failure. It was a system that still ran after selecting the wrong lineup. Conditional expressions carry the same risks. A false branch can look healthy while drifting away from operational intent. The outcome is that conditionals should be paired with validation when the branch affects security posture, exposure, or production behavior. In submarine operations, the watch team feared quiet misalignment more than loud failure. Loud failure gets attention. Quiet misalignment keeps moving. A banned conditional branch behaves the same way. A conditional expression does not create a separate execution block. It only computes one value. That distinction matters because beginners often confuse it with imperative if-else logic from general programming languages. Terraform is still building a dependency graph from values and references. That mechanism is value selection inside declarative configuration. The outcome is that you use conditional expressions to shape arguments, locals, outputs, and metadata, not to script step-by-step execution.